I feel like I'm with all of you as a Hoosier that was born into the red and the cream and crimson. This means so much, not only to share a little bit about our championship run this year, but just to be here. This wasn't my dream to coach at Indiana. My dream was to play at Indiana for my father. And I was a young kid, like many here, that grew up watching their school, and nothing made me more proud to be able to play. And nothing makes me feel better when I go out to a recruiting event or I'm around town and a parent comes up with a young child and says that all my son wants to do is play soccer at Indiana. And obviously the athletes and the student athletes that wear our uniform have inspired the next generation. And that means a lot, because I was one of those young kids. As you know, I grew up with a very successful coach. I would say he is among the all-time greats in college athletics for what he was able to do. He took a program from a club status back in 1963. We're entering our 40th year of varsity when it turned in 73. And what he was able to do is phenomenal. And to be able to be the caretaker now and to continue on with our legacy is a really important challenge, and one that as growing up and playing for my father and having those high expectations is one that I love the challenge because I love the school. And nothing made me more proud than to see us win that championship this year. And it took a little bit of time to build, as Kurt said, the team to have the opportunity to win it. And there's adversity through those moments. There is the building that comes into having that final moment. But what I learned from my father through all the years is that if you build the right chemistry and the culture within your program, that there really is no secret, that it's how you manage these young people, how you build them, how you inspire them, and get good players, because they make really good coaches. So that secret is one that we all know as coaches. You got to have the horses. And I get asked often, what's different about this one? I've been to every one of our 8 championships. Back when I was 10 in '82 in Fort Lauderdale. Through all the years, I was there at every one. And this one, what's different, that all of you are going to be proud of, is that we had the most Indiana players on the field contributing as we've ever had. That's to be proud of. We had 17 of our rostered team of nearly 30 right here. The local high schools, Zionsville, Carmel, Avon, up in Fort Wayne, playing really important roles. And years ago, the Indiana player was a support player. And now they're a predominant player in all the roles of our team. And that says a lot. And like those young kids that come up and say, I want to be a Hoosier, that's as strong as ever. And we're locking the state down when it comes to the talent, and they want to play for this great school, and they want to have an opportunity to win a championship. That's what we want them. We want them to have that opportunity. As I mentioned, this journey had a lot of moments of challenge and adversity. We had a little bit of a tough run at the end of the year. But what stayed true to this group are some principles that we talk about regularly within our program. And there are a few things that we have in our locker room that are there for them to see every day. And it's really about the process. Because if all you're doing is thinking about the result, you're not going to find the way to the end. I truly believe that. And so our two sayings that we have it's very ingrained in our team, is with tradition comes responsibility, which is very important, and everyday excellence. So this group really was able to focus on the process. And so when adversity did hit, which it did, and as Kurt alluded to, it comes in different ways. It might be a game, might be an injury, might be a couple games. They were able to fight through that as a team. And this group, because of that, I think will leave a lasting legacy and a new mark on our program. Because what we say with our alumni, and we have a lot of proud alums, is leave your mark. Let's have, in 15 years, let's talk about this team. Let's have this team be referenced in the next 10 to 15 years. That's leaving your mark. And many of you that see our uniform, we have stars that are on our above the logo, and each one of those represents our championship. And for this group to be able to put a star on our jersey is something that is an incredible amount of pride that comes with this group. They'll always be part of the elite of the elite, and that's a really wonderful experience for this group. But again, that adversity was there, and we enter into the tournament as a 16 seed and have to go on the road after a win at home to Notre Dame, the number 1 seed in the tournament overall, a team that we lost to in a tight match. And the way they responded, giving up a goal midway through the second half, and we were completely outplaying this Notre Dame team. Very good team. And the way they responded within 30 seconds of giving a goal up and scored to tie it, and then we go into overtime and win it, there was a moment when you say there's the steps that are coming. And that team showed an incredible amount of focus, trust, and they executed. And those 3 things I feel you must have to win a championship, those 3 things together. And they demonstrated that. Then we go to UNC. They've been to 3 straight Final Fours, and they had a 40-game unbeaten streak at home. That's about 3 seasons in soccer. So they were having a pretty good run. And this team was also the team that we lost to the year before in the round of Sweet 16 at North Carolina, the team that went on to win it in 2011. And for us to go there and beat them in front of their record crowd, 1-0, Eric Zavaleta, local product, getting the game winner. And for our team to go in that UNC locker room after the game, this is one of the memories that I'll never forget. One of the guys grabbed a flag from one of the parents or fans, and we went in the locker room, and the guys sang the fight song. And I tell you what, you know they're Hoosiers because they know the song. And someone filmed it, and when I watch that to this day, that's just one of the memories that I will always cherish, was that fight song in UNC's locker room to go to the College Cup, our Final Four. They had gotten back to where the expectations, whether they're realistic every year or not, but they're there, and they have done it. And then to go down to Hoover, Alabama, and play a very good Creighton team and win 1-0 in the semifinal. Now we're playing for our 8th championship. That was our 13th final that the program's played in. It was our 18th Final Four that we've appeared in. And I've shared this. There's a lot of special little moments throughout this run. But in that hotel, prior to the game, it was a very busy weekend, as you can imagine. And I finally had about 15 minutes of just quiet time. The team was loading the bus. My room was empty. And I was just thinking about the game. Finally get to just relax and have the final thoughts before the whirlwind hits again. And all of a sudden I hear through 3 floors below the fight song. So we had about 300 fans, cheerleaders, you name it, they were down there, and the fight song came through the floors, like through the air duct, and I'm sitting there in that quiet moment, and I just lost it for about 10 minutes. You know, what it was for me, and I don't usually get emotional in that way, but it was just one of those uncontrollable triggers that I know you guys have, that meant so much, the school, this university, this athletic department, to be now in this position to win a championship and what it meant to everyone else. That's what was overwhelming. It wasn't the moment I was having myself and thinking about it, was just whatever it meant to everyone else that was there around the country. And so I was late to the team bus. I wasn't very good. Everyone kind of saw it on my face, but I pulled it together, and we went on to beat Georgetown 1-0 in that final. And you don't really prepare for what it feels like. I had won as an assistant. I was short on as a player. But to see the joy of the players and everyone there, it was just an overwhelming feeling, and one of it was just a fulfillment, different than elation. It was just an overwhelming feeling, and to see the players' reaction on the field and in the post game. Nothing quite like it. And to be able to share that and to win our 8th championship was certainly special in a year that certainly maybe we weren't expected to be there, which made it sweet. Our alumni that are around the hotel that weekend, our rings have always been a big part of our championship. And as a freshman in 1991 at IU, we won a Big Ten championship, and we went to the College Cup. I thought that was a pretty big deal. Pretty good start for my career. So I'm hanging out with some of our alums from the 80s that had won a couple championships in the staff lounge at camp. And there's 40, 50 of them. Many of them are alums. And I got the ring on. And one of the guys comes up to me and is like, "That's a pretty cool ring, Todd. You really gonna wear it?" I go, "Yeah." And he pulls out 2 of his, and he goes, "We just wear these." And I go, "Okay. I guess now I really know what it feels like now as a player," because I felt it as a young child and then as a player. And around that hotel on Saturday, a lot of alumni of our program were there, and they pulled some of our players aside, and I saw it across the room, and I'm just wondering, okay, how much have they had of the hospitality in the hotel? I think they were enjoying happy hour, and I'm wondering what they're saying to these guys. So I pull them out. We finally get over to our event, and I say, guys, what were they talking about? And they go, "Coach, they just kept, a couple of them were like hugging us and saying, 'Great, keep it going,' and some were just yelling at us." And I go, "What do you mean?" They're like, "You better leave with the ring. Like, your job's not even done. Don't even think this is what it is to play in a championship." And our players took that in such good stride, and they kind of smiled and said, "We understand." And so the way they handled it, the way they handled the entire run, I've never seen a team enjoy and live in the moment as best as this team did. And when you're coaching and seeing that, it's phenomenal. And they had so much fun along the journey. They were so ready to compete, but when it's time to have fun, they were laughing and smiling. And I couldn't be more proud of how they handled the entire run. And I can't wait to see the alums when our ring comes, because it's gonna be decent size. And just like they did to me when I was about 10 or 12, when we won our first one, they used to bonk my head with it. I'm gonna turn around and bonk their head with it and tell them there's a little 2012 coming at you. But we're certainly excited about, obviously, next year too. Just want to briefly talk about the group. The expectations are high every year, certainly, as I mentioned. And this group is ready to take those challenges. We return some very important pieces, and we have a great class coming in. Our schedule is as tough as there is in the country. That's our philosophy. We know where we need to be and test us, so our schedule will be the top 3 rated RPI schedule, and that's what we need to do to prepare ourselves. And the Big Ten is 1-2 rating amongst college soccer, so every game means something. The addition of Maryland and Rutgers in 14 is going to continue to elevate it. Very good soccer programs. So we're excited. It means so much to have the support of all of you that come down and support. We have one of the best crowds in the country in our attendance. We really appreciate it. And I'm excited to see what this group can do. And I keep telling them that we are the reigning champions. We're not defending anything. That championship is done. You've won it. It's yours. Reign, the swagger, the confidence, when they take the field, will be at its highest. And that epitomizes our program. And again, I want to thank all of you for providing our student athletes with unbelievable support, whether it's you coming to our matches, your financial contributions, and all varieties. All of you really make this special. And our players having an opportunity to do what they did have seen a new level of what it means to have success. And success and winning breeds winning. And around this department right now, there's a lot of winning. And our student athletes, it's contagious. And what we're doing with these sports is unbelievable. And as Fred said, this is a golden age, and we're going to go right in it and tackle it, because that's what we're doing. And again, we appreciate your support. Thank you for all what you do, and go Hoosiers.